How are we, guys? Welcome to episode 27 of the Cowboys TV podcast. My name is Nick from Australia, and as always, we are joined by Callan's calling. Hello, Callan.
Hey, Nick, how you going, mate?
All right, mate, I'm bloody fantastic. How are you going?
Yeah, good, mate.
I don't know about yourself, but I'm still buzzing from Sunday. Down at Leichhardt, come from behind win. We end the Tigers season. They can no longer make the top 8. And honestly, it's a great feeling. It really is.
That drug, unfortunately, has worn off for me, and I'm hanging out for a top-up this weekend.
Sounds
Look,
great.
if we can continue that, and to me, it's one of the, especially at home against the Broncos, it's always circled in the calendar a must get to. So, pretty excited.
One of the biggest games of the year, our biggest rivals. Hopefully we can knock off those clowns and put a dent in their finals run because they're going to make the 8. They're probably the only Queensland team that'll make the 8 this year, unless the Dolphins get in. But, yeah, we should be there, but we're not. Disappointing. Anyway.
And the horrible feeling that it's the last game.
Yeah. It's going to feel like an eternity until we play again. Obviously, Vegas will be our next game after this. So, fingers crossed we win at Vegas against the Knights. But before we go any further, I want to say hello to the chat. G'day to Luke, Melbourne Storm fan. G'day to Jason Reader. G'day to Jack Wotherspoon and everyone tuning in here. Jeffrey and Will Storm fan and everyone else. Hope you guys are all doing fantastic. Appreciate you all for tuning in. Well, yeah, we might as well talk about the win on the weekend. But quickly, guys, don't forget, like and subscribe to the channel. Like and subscribe to the channel. Me and Callan appreciate that. Check out Callan's channel if you haven't already. But yes, let's just talk about it. What a win on Sunday. Cowboys winning against the Tigers. 34 points to 28. The Tigers led 28-16 with about 15 minutes to go, and the Cowboys scored 3 tries in 5 minutes to win 34 to 28. I'm going to be straight up honest here. Being at this game live, when the Tigers got to 28-16, I thought the game was over. The Tigers fans were absolutely insane at Leichhardt. They had the crowd behind them and the momentum, but somehow, some way, the Cowboys pulled a miracle out of their ass, and Drinkwater was setting up tries, busting tackles. Purdue was looking so dangerous. Braden Burns scoring a freakish try out wide. What a comeback, Callan.
Yeah, showed a lot of guts, grit, determination, what it means to be a Cowboy, what we are. I know it's only the Tigers, but it's what we are capable of. And like I said, we're probably where we should have been round at that end of that winning streak.
Yeah, no, you're right. And I guess it's great to finish the year off with a couple of wins and ruin a couple of teams' season and whatnot. But the part that annoys me is we get these wins now. We needed these wins 6 weeks ago when we were trying to still get in the top 8 and stuff. So it's really disappointing that we're not going to play finals this year, and this is our last game of the round or last game of the year this weekend against Brisbane. But yeah, it's a great feeling to win, but it also hurts as well because we're not playing finals.
Yeah, well, that's right. You've got a team that's like Tigers were looking, threatening the 8.
Yeah,
and we've shown that, and nearly every year we have always beaten the grand final team in the season.
correct.
So we've always been good enough to beat the best team, just not when it's win enough of them and win them in the right time.
Yeah, no, 100% correct about that. But look, I just thought it was a brave win on Sunday. I thought it was just a remarkable effort. I couldn't believe it, to be honest. 28-16 down, about 18, 17 minutes to go. Tigers had everything going for them. We just, I don't know, our defense was all over the place and whatever. And unbelievably, Drinkwater setting up Semi Volame, who ended up getting 2 tries. Braden Burns in the corner. For Braden Burns to reach out and not know that, like, obviously he knew that it wasn't double movement. That was just a rugby league brain. That was so smart. Most players would have just put the tackle. And then obviously Purdue just is everywhere. Purdue is such a good center. Like, we're talking about it in the green room. You got to leave him at center. He's, in my opinion, based off this season, like if we're talking about the 2025 season, nothing else, he'd be in the top 5 centers. Like he's been incredible. So what a freak he is, isn't he, Callum?
Yeah, well, exactly what you said. He wasn't firing too many shots as a 5'8", and we lost so much strike in attack.
Correct.
By taking him out of centre. So it was a real double-edged sword of the damage of that experiment. So
hopefully.
And it's like you look at the top teams, you're talking about in the green room about the halfback.
Yeah.
Well, it's a lot of these teams. I know Penrith have had a few changes every year and keep winning, but them combinations, they're solid combinations.
Yeah.
That unless they have an injury, you won't see I'll put money on it that the Bulldogs will not win the grand final this year.
Yeah, same. Guarantee it.
And I'll put it down to what he's doing, what Peyton did by changing a team that's winning. I know the statistics said this and said that. Well, you still and you're only going to get better. And that's what I reckon what sort of fucked us is we had these combinations that were building and we're only going to get better. Like it's when we were saying like, oh, we probably wouldn't have beat Penrith that year. And like, you just don't know. Like who knows who's going to be there at the end of this year and our combinations. Like we've had quite a few like forced through injury, and some of these guys were like just starting to show real promise and form, and all of a sudden there's an injury.
Yeah,
and then you chuck that in with a silly change. It's like it derailed us, mate, big time.
Yeah, definitely hurt. Definitely hurt us, doing that experiment mid-season. I think Peyton's probably looking back on it, definitely regretting it. I think he would. If he doesn't regret it, I'd be very surprised. But anyway, we'll get to Peyton very soon. But this win on the weekend, I thought it was gutsy. I thought it was inspiring, and I spoke to all the boys after the game before they hopped on the bus, and they were all all of them were pumped up. They were keen. They were pumped for it. They were very happy with it. Obviously, a couple of the players said to me that we're not happy that we conceded 28 points, but the win's a win, especially at Leichhardt. Tough place to win. Our record there is diabolical. We've won our last 2 there now, which is, I think, for the first time ever we've done that. So, I spoke to a couple of the older players, and they're disappointed with the defense, but they're just happy they got the win. So, I think we both know when during the preseason for next year, all the boys will be doing is defensive stuff. I don't think we need to even work on the attack. The attack's fine. The defense is the one that I'm worried about.
Yeah, well, you've always got to give that polish for the attack.
Yeah.
Keep that sharpness and like to me, you're never good enough. You always want to be better, and the top teams, that's their attitude. We're never good enough. We want to be better.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I am bloody with you. But who were some of the standout players, in your opinion, from Sunday? I thought Drinkwater was absolutely outstanding on the weekend. Obviously, he let the ball bounce for that one try, which he was filthy about. But outside of that, I thought Drinkwater was outstanding on Sunday.
Yeah, same.
I thought the wingers, Braden Burns, thought he was great. I thought Sammy Volame really stood up in this game. I thought he was really good. Obviously, Purdue at centre was outstanding. I thought Dearden and Clifford, I thought they combined it really well. I was really happy with those two. And some of the forwards, like Tamalolo, was out. It was incredible. He was absolutely incredible on the weekend. That was one of his best games in a while.
Yeah, no, he's playing good footy, just coming right for, like normally this will be the time of the year when we want him getting primed,
Yeah,
ready to go.
Obviously, at the end of the year, when the finals are over, there's about a 2 or 3 week break, and then we're straight into the international football. And I have no doubt that Tamalolo will be there for Tonga, and he will be leading them into battle. So that's gonna be really big.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Yeah, Tonga and Samoa and all that, Fiji, Papua New Guinea, it's going to be insane. I'll tell you this, obviously off topic here, but Tonga versus Samoa, international footy, that's going to be off its head. When that game happens, that's going to be off its rocket.
Well, the way the defections are going, you'll see sooner rather than later Samoa or Tonga winning the World Cup.
Yeah, well, the World Cup is at the end of next year, and there's probably about 5 nations that can win the World Cup now, with players pledging their allegiance and whatnot. So you got like Australia, New Zealand, England.
Where's that going to be?
It's in Australia, the World Cup next year.
Oh, yeah.
So there'll be some games in Sydney, Brisbane, Melbourne, probably a couple in New Zealand. Like, it's going to be great. Can't wait for the World Cup. Honestly, can't wait. And, like, if you look at Samoa, I think Jeremiah Nanai is playing for Samoa. I think Murray Talangi is playing for Samoa. So, some of our boys are going to be playing at the end of the year. So, should be good. But, yeah, great win on Sunday. And hopefully we can make it 3 in a row to end the year.
Yeah, well, to me, this is like in my head, I'm pretending that this isn't the end. So that's what I want to see is our mentality. Like, okay, we beat 2 average teams. Now we've got to beat a team that's going to be in the finals.
Yep, the Broncos.
So to me, it's putting a stamp on saying that, we should have been there.
Yeah. We've got a great opportunity this weekend to put a dent in the Broncos finals. They're still fighting for top 4. If they lose this game to us, they can't make the top 4. So, good chance for us to stuff up their finals campaign, I guess. Now, team list news for the game around this weekend. We've named the exact same team as last week. Once again, though, Zach Labart on the bench. Now, Zach Labart did not play on the weekend at all. He was sitting on the bench, didn't even get on the field, unfortunately for Zach. Do you think we should just go with another forward here? Because I feel like we're wasting a bench spot here with Zach.
Oh, man. like I keep saying, I'm not about fucking hating the coach, mate, but he fucking makes it hard for me to be happy with the things that he does, mate. You know, why put a centre there to start with or an outside back? And then, you know, it's a pretty close game.
And then we know you.
Shit. And we don't play him.
Yeah, it was fucking bizarre. Like that, obviously, that's the one knock. Like last week against Newcastle, we had Zach move to the bench and he came on and played about 12 minutes. It's pointless. Just put one of the forwards on. You got Kai O'Donnell, you got Marley, you got Nick Linez, you got Caden Lars. Just put one of them on the bench. Simple as that. Just put Zach in fucking Queensland Cup. Give him a game in Q Cup. There's no point sitting him on the bench and a potential HIA could happen and then we're going to move a forward to the fucking outside backs. Now, does Todd not know that John Bateman has played international rugby league for England at centre? Just move Bateman to centre and put fucking Vilea on the wing if we get a HIA situation. And then you can put Cotter in the back row and bring Harrison on into the middle or something. Like, I don't understand why we are carrying Zach Labart on the bench. I do not understand it. And if we win or lose, I would love somebody to just be polite. Don't be a prick. Someone be polite and ask Todd, hey, Todd, can you give me your reasoning behind carrying an outside back on the bench? And please don't give me the answer in case of a HIA, because I am sure as hell not buying that.
I don't know, mate.
Unbelievable.
I've said it. You know, I don't want to sound like a scratch record, but the whole bench, man, has been really disappointing. The bench that he picks, the way he uses it, I just, you know, it's such a essential part of the game. You know, it's not like the old days when you weren't in the first 13, it was like you weren't good enough. The bench players are just as important.
100%. 100%. Look at how important the guys like Edwards and McKaylee on the weekend. If they don't come on and do their job, the team's going to suffer. It really will. So, I don't know. I thought everyone on the bench did their job well on the weekend. I just don't understand why we're playing an outside back on the bench. It doesn't make any sense to me. Now, if a winger or centre gets a HIA, then Todd looks like a genius with this outside back thing. But what if we get another situation like we got on the weekend where Zach doesn't even get on the goddamn field? Doesn't make much sense. Just get Kai O'Donnell on the bench. Get Kai in there. He can play back row and then play in the middle. Get Kai on. That's what I'd be doing. I'll be bringing Kai in for this game.
Well, to me, the way I'd be playing in my head, if I'm coach, I'm like, this is the grand final. You know, this is our grand final.
It is our grand final.
Is this exactly what I do in a grand final? Put Zach Labert on the bench? I don't think so.
No. Bizarre. Just move Zach to 18th man. That way, you get two HIAs. If one of them's an outside back, Zach comes straight in. No fucking problem at all. But it's just a waste having him on the bench because, you know, like you're saying about the bench, how you're not happy with how it's been used. If I'm a coach, the way I'm using my bench, I'm thinking to myself, all right, I need two props on the bench. That way I can rotate my starting props. And then I'm probably looking for a hooker / lock / back row. And then if I'm looking for another spot, I'm probably looking for another back row, just in case. So I'm going two middle forwards, a guy that can play hooker and lock, and then I'm going for a back rower. That would be my bench.
Yeah, well, someone, you know, like Cohen Hess, who's almost that perfect body type in between. You know, he can be a prop. He could be a second rower. He could, you know, he might struggle to play hooker all game.
Oh, yeah, he won't be playing hooker.
You know what I mean? He's that mobile, big body. You know, like he's a starter, or he's one of them key benchmen.
This is why I love Harrison on the bench, because he can play hooker as well. So adds a bit of value to it. Like, now, funny thing is, right? Obviously, we got a few injuries out with Hess, Nee, McIntyre, and Lukey and all that. But if all of them are available, that's probably our bench, to be honest. Neem will Hess probably start. One of them's on the bench. You got Edwards, you got Lukey, you got McKaylee, or fucking Neem, whichever one you want to go with. So, yeah, obviously we got a few out, but there's no excuse for the Zach Laybutt experiment. Very strange. Very strange. Anyway, everything else I think is pretty good with the team. Callan, I don't have any other complaints about it.
No, that's the only questionable one that I just, you know, for a team that's underperformed, for a coach that's underperformed,
yeah,
I just think, why? You know, is it to be that I'm a master stroke because, you know, a bat goes down? Is it for that? You know, like, I just don't get it.
Yeah, it's a bit strange.
Is it to frustrate us? Is it?
Oh, fucking hope not. I'm already frustrated enough that we're not playing finals. Unbelievable. All right, on to some news that broke yesterday. Officially, now, we did speculate this a few weeks ago, and it's obviously official now. Jordan McLean officially announces his retirement. Obviously, this Saturday will be his final game for the Cowboys. I believe he's retiring. I don't think he's going over to the UK or anything. I think he's hanging up the boots for good, as far as we all know, unless he is going to the UK that we haven't heard anything about. But Jordan McLean has obviously been with the club since 2018. He has served the club very well, very loyal. There was a couple of times there where he could have left and went back to Sydney, but chose not to. But Callan, obviously, me and you have always liked Jordan McLean. I'm a little bit sad about his retirement.
Oh yeah, big time. He's always been very generous with his time to me over the years. That picture that I put up there,
Yeah,
a lot of pictures that I've had with him over the years. You know, I met him at a funeral. That was like, I think it was like one of the first proper introductions that you know, to have really, and then every time I've ever seen him after, he always remembered who I was, and we'd always have a bit of a running joke about my snakeskin boots, and and it was always good to let me know that this bloke remembers me, you know.
Yeah. No, he's a great fella, Macca. Had a chat with him on Sunday there, and I was telling him that I've been to every away game and everything, you know, and he's just one of the nicest blokes, really is. He always has time for the fans. As long as you go up to him with respect and you approach him well, he'll always be nice to you. So I've got a lot of respect for Jordan McLean, and he will be missed. I'm telling you. A lot of people say, "Oh, he should have retired a year ago." Blah blah blah. Bullshit. The amount of tries that we conceded this season when he was off the field, the number would be pretty big. So he will be missed. I have no doubt about it. He will be missed. All right. Let's move on. And we were talking about this all in the green room. Oh, this will be interesting. Todd Payton is reportedly safe for 2026. And I was reading the article that was sent to, it was by, I believe, Code Sports, and Fox have also jumped on the article as well. And what it says, Peyton is expected to be given another chance to turn the Cowboys' fortunes around. The coaches reportedly set to stay on for the 2026 season. Peyton will not be sacked and instead has been backed by key decision makers at the club, at least for now. It comes as Cowboys power brokers prepare to conduct a postseason review just to understand how the Cowboys went from doubling to fifth on the ladder last season to a disappointing 12th at the moment. The Cowboys are yet to make back-to-back finals under Peyton's reign. The inconsistent results have put the head coach's future under the microscope. Peyton, however, is safe. The board is expected to make it clear to him that better results are needed for 2026. So Peyton pretty much has been given the ultimatum where if you don't improve next year, you're probably going to get shown the door. So the best way I can describe that last comment is finals or perish. That's what it sounds like to me. Make the 8 next year or fall on your sword. What's your take on that whole report, Callan?
Yeah, if that's what it is,
Yeah.
if I can live with that. If we don't make the 8 next year, he's gone.
Yeah, I'm with you.
You
100%
know,
with you.
doesn't matter if we're in a 5-way fight for 8. You know, and we narrowly miss out and blah blah blah, and you go on wins, and you know, technically we've done better than a lot of other teams and who get into the 8 and blah blah blah. And nah, we don't want to be fighting for the 8. We want to be preferably 4, but we want to be in the 8.
Yeah. You want to be in that 4th, 5th, 6th position. You want to get a home final. You want to be around that top 4. So, you know,
well, we'll see what happens this year, but so far still no team has won it outside the 4. So
correct.
Realistically, 4's got to be the aim.
Yeah, it has to be the aim. I think if we get 7th or 8th, again, probably safe. It needs to make the 8 next year.
Oh yeah. What I'm saying is, if you want to win the grand final, your aim's got to be 4.
Yeah, you've got to go for
his job. Yes, 8 will do, but you know, you really got to be shooting for 4.
You got to be shooting exactly right. You got to be shooting for the top 4. I know a lot of people are impatient with Todd, and a lot of people want him gone now. And you know, I can understand it from both sides. Like, I get it. You know, people want him gone, new fresh start. But I think we've just wasted our opportunity for a fresh start. Josh Henne was the guy that every Cowboys supporter I read wanted, but he's just agreed to a 2-year deal with the Titans, with Dez getting moved on, and obviously Adam O'Brien's left the Knights as well. So if we wanted change and we wanted Henne, we should have acted sooner. But I think we give Todd 26. We don't make the 8. He goes. I think it's as simple as that. Simple as that. Finals.
And I think every year after.
Yeah, make the 8 or
not this yo-yo and bullshit. You know, we've had a bad run with injury, blah blah blah, origin, blah blah blah, a few bad decisions made, team selection didn't help, but you've definitely been hampered with things that were outside his control, which you cannot use as an excuse, like going forward. So it's. So I hope he starts playing, because I always get the feeling with Todd, he's playing for next year, or 5 years plan. No, mate, that's not how rugby league. Rugby league is you want to win like what Penrith are. Penrith are the carbon copy of what a club wants to do: win a grand final every year.
Yeah, 100%. And we have the fucking roster to do it. We really do. Look at our team. Like, fuck me. There is a team there that can fucking compete with these top sides.
Yeah.
No fucking doubt about it. We should be right where the fucking Warriors are right now. We should be in that 4th, 5th position. But we're not. So, yeah. Next year is going to be a fucking big one. And the other thing that the article was reporting, the assistant coaches are the ones under the more of the microscope because they haven't gotten any better, apparently. The defensive coach is getting absolutely reviewed. Justin Morgan, I believe it is. Based off the reports that I've read and what I've heard, I'd be very surprised if Justin Morgan's at the club next year. I'd be very surprised. So Todd's probably going to go get a new defensive coach, maybe a new attacking coach as well. And I think we spoke about this maybe a month ago. It would not hurt if Todd brought in some fresh assistant coaches, some new ideas. Like, it wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what we need. Like you said, fresh start. To move forward, you've got to own the past and say, well, okay, I tried something, it didn't work. Probably be, well, for me, getting put into a situation where you've got to win next year.
Yeah.
We're not in a rebuild or.
No way. Not with our squad, not with our team. No way. I've heard other content creators who support other clubs talk about the teams that are not making finals and everything, and they're like, Cowboys are in a rebuild. No, we're not. We're not in a fucking rebuild. We have a team right here that can fucking compete with any of the top 8 sides. Problem is, the last couple of years, our defense has been terrible, and that's the one part of our game that needs to improve next year more than anything. Defense. I don't expect us to have the best defense, but I expect us to be in the top 6 defense. We have to be. We have to. We have to have. Our defense needs to be really good next year. Otherwise, we're gonna have the same fucking yo-yo.
Well, for the amount of players that's changed, hasn't been that many since 22, and like. Our goal line defense was so good that year.
Yeah, 2022.
We just seemed to. We didn't really have any fear.
No.
About defending that line. And then just I don't know what we just seemed to like. The hole started appearing. I don't know if we were playing on last year's credibility or what was going on.
It's fucking bizarre, Callan, because there's been games this season where our defense has looked good. Remember the Penrith game when we beat them in Sydney? That was great defense. The game against Souths in Perth, we defended really well. Obviously, the Bulldogs game earlier this year where we lost that during Origin, we only conceded 12 points. That was good defense. Like, we conceded 4 points to the Knights, who are obviously going bad, but we had 23 errors in that game. So there's been games where our defense has been strong, but it just hasn't been consistent enough.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can get better defense next year. Like, fuck. Drives you mad, I tell you.
Oh, there's got to be a lot of defensive drills.
Yeah.
For pre-season.
I'd be going out and getting the best defensive coach you can find, and don't be afraid to fucking go off at them. Put them in their place. They've got to defend better. Simple as that. All right. Let's move on. Get to some NRL footy tipping. Obviously, 2 rounds to go, and we get on to tonight's game, which is the Bulldogs and the Panthers at a core stadium. Panthers are resting 16 players.
Crazy.
Bulldogs will win easy now.
I'll go Penrith.
You're kidding.
Yeah, just you never know. I'll be like I said. I'll be like Todd Payton. If it comes off, I'm a genius. If it doesn't, you're a fucking idiot.
If they win with 16 players out, that's just fucked.
I bet if they underestimate them.
Yeah, true. True.
You know, all these blokes, like especially Penrith, you know, they've almost probably not quite as good as Storm, but geez, mate, they've got to just keep turning them players out that just seem to do the job.
Yeah. On to Friday night, Warriors and the Eels over in New Zealand.
I'll go the Warriors. Hard to pass up the Warriors.
I'm going to go the Eels. I'm not convinced with the Warriors. I think they're a fluke this year, but that's just me. Melbourne Storm and the Sydney Roosters in Melbourne.
Melbourne.
I'm going to go the Roosters only because they're resting a few players, but
Bellamy, who are they resting?
They're resting about 4 of them. I'm going Roosters.
I'll go the Roosters.
Roosters have to win. It's a big game. Big game, that one. Saturday, Raiders and the Tigers in Canberra.
Raiders.
Yeah, Raiders win well there. 5:30 Saturday at Cogra. Dragons and Manly. This will be close.
Dragons.
Yeah, Dragons for me. Sunday, Sharks and the Knights in Cronulla. Sharks. And then Sunday, Dolphins and the Titans at Suncorp.
Dolphins.
Yeah, Dolphins. And then obviously Saturday night, the big one, it's sold out. Queensland Country Bank Stadium. Cowboys versus Broncos. Huge game this. What are you predicting on Saturday, Callan?
Geez. It's going to be a close game. It's either going to be a real fight or we're probably going to get blown away if we don't come, ready for the fight. So I can't go against them. But yeah, I think it's going to be a few points scored. So I go Cowboys 32. I'll go Broncos 26. And first try scorer, Tommy Dearden. Anytime try scorer, Cliffo.
All right. Well, I'm going to go Cowboys in a high-scoring game as well. I'll go 28-24. First try scorer, I'm going to go with your man here, Jake Clifford. I reckon he'll score first. And anytime try scorer, you know what? I'm going to go Thomas McKaylee.
Oh, yeah.
McKaylee off the bench to provide some impact, and he might crash over for a try. So, yeah, Cowboys to win. Should be a good game against the scum, as I like to call them. The bronze scum. All right. And I'll get a couple of fan questions before we get on out of here. Question here from Greg. Should Braden Burns be on the wing next year with Murray Talangi?
At this stage, probably. I think that might be an ongoing battle, that one.
It's a good headache, isn't it? You got Braden Burns, Robert Derby to come back. Fuck, that is tough.
Because I think you've just got to go with who's available and whoever's playing good footy, I think you've just got to leave them there. Like if Braden Burns is playing good, leave him there. If Derby's playing good, leave him there. If Jackson Paulo's playing good, leave him there.
Burns, Paulo, Derby, Zach Labart,
Labour, yeah.
Tom Chester, maybe.
Yeah, well, he can play there. He can play for fullback. Play centre.
Someone in the chat said, I like Semi Volame on the wing, the Fijian bloke. Well, he's leaving, bro. He is leaving. He's going to the Castleford Tigers, I believe, over in the Super League. He's heading overseas. I'd go Braden Burns. I just love what I've seen from Braden Burns. He's been going so good. All right, next question. Ryan Fiend. Will we get a good defensive coach next year and a good halves coach? Well, there's going to be a review apparently on the whole coaching thing, but it is likely that we get someone else to come in. As for the halves coach, I got no idea. I got no idea who, I don't even know who it is right now. The halves coach. Actually, I don't know.
Me either.
I couldn't tell you, to be honest, but I did hear that James Maloney has been offered a ambassador role to come back to the Cowboys, work as an ambassador. So we'll see what happens with that. Hopefully, I'd love to have James Maloney back at the club.
We shouldn't have let him go, mate. Like it was a low range, man. You know,
wasn't much.
Man, let's be fucking. Everyone makes a mistake.
Yeah, wasn't much. What is your top 10 rivalries for the Cowboys and your personal rivalries? Well, top 10's pretty extreme, but I'll give you a couple of teams that I consider rivals of the Cowboys. Brisbane, Cronulla, West Tigers, and if I had to throw one more, fuck, is that it? Anyone else we have a rival with besides them three? Would that be it? Maybe the Roosters.
Yeah, well,
Bit of
for
history,
me, you'd have to ask the players how they feel because to me, Roosters is a rival to me.
Yeah.
You know, Storm, mate, because they've such a hard team for us to win against, grand final against them. You know, the Bulldogs, we've had some good tussles with. Like,
yeah, we did, didn't we, with the Bulldogs?
I think it's probably, I think it's, who upsets you the most will start a new rivalry, like if something dirty happens.
Yeah.
But I think Broncos, I think Cronulla.
Tigers, we got heaps of history with.
Yeah, Tigers.
I'd say those three for me.
Manly, Roosters.
Yeah, I'd probably throw the Roosters in there somewhere. Even Parramatta to an extent. That's another one.
Yeah.
Bit of history with Parramatta. So, yeah, they're probably
the Knights. We've had some good ones with them too. And then Ponga Ignite and I hope we lose. That just
That fucking cockfucker.
Then we're playing them in Vegas. So to me, that's momentum for rivalry.
I hope we put 50 on the fucking Knights in Vegas. That'd be good. Would love that. All right, last question from Jack. If we do sign Sendon Smith, who would you rather start, Clifford or Smith? I think you've got to go Clifford until something doesn't work. I think Clifford's got to be the halves partner with Dearden, unless something happens. But
Unless we just, how about this? This is probably me sounding like I'm a fucking arsehole. How about every year we start with two completely different halves? And then as the year progresses, we'll put the preferred halves combination. So let's never have, our halves, our preferred halves all year. Let's not do that. Because that's like, I don't know how many people have heard ask this question about starting someone else. Hang on for a sec.
All good.
Hello? Yeah, good.
All right, we'll get back to Callan in just a moment, and we'll finish the podcast up in a sec. But yeah, I just think you could. I think Clifford has to be the man until something happens. There you go. All good.
So raising money for some charity.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Look, I just think unless something happens to Clifford or he completely falls out of form, he has to be the halves partner going forward. If we do sign Sandon Smith, I think he's the backup to Clifford.
Well, I reckon that's how we've got. We haven't done that.
Yeah.
So how about we just give Tommy Dearden, number 7, Jake Clifford, number 6.
Yeah.
And I think they've got to lose a lot of games before we just start this willy-nilly changing bullshit. And then we've got to, if we don't want a certain player, we just got to go, well, that's it, let them go.
Yeah.
You've got to put the faith in that player and stick with them. Otherwise, we really got to start making some changes in our team.
Yeah, pretty much.
We just seem to want to stack up on halves, on wingers, on 1 minute we ain't got a hooker, and then we're starting to look like we have 3 coming.
Yeah. Last question from Up the Guts in the live chat, and he's just said, thoughts on Drinkwater in the halves and Purdue at fullback? I wouldn't. Maybe during the State of Origin period when Dearden goes to Origin, but nah, I don't think that would work at all. Do you?
Yeah, no, not a fan. I don't think Purdue's gone that well when he has gone to fullback, and we've had lots of trialing with Drinky at 6, and for whatever reason, it just never seemed to work. I think we just go with having Reed, Marnie there, Drinky, lock them in, Dearden, Cliffo, lock that spine in.
Yeah.
And give them, and back them all the way. And
I'm with you. I'm bloody with you. I think that's what we're better off doing. All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up. Thank you very much, Callan.
No worries, mate.
A lot of fun.
So you're not going to the game?
Trying.
Oh, yeah.
I've got tickets. I'm just trying to work it out, but we'll see how we go. Hopefully. But we might do another podcast next week and just reflect on the whole season. We'll work that out, I guess. But thanks for watching, guys. We appreciate it. Like and subscribe. We're going to get on out of here. And see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, guys.
Go to the Cowboys on Saturday night.